I'm pretty excited about this because, you know, this is my book. So let's begin. I will be using Meta AI generator and another one to create, or AI art generator in order to create these. These are the two that I found that I like. If you have any more, mention them below. Don't put links, but just mention them. But this is the introduction to Rise of Valyria. If you want to follow along, you can go ahead and read the first chapter of the book. You can find it on Amazon. If you need a link, you can just ask me, but it's just Rise of Valyria on Amazon. And you can go ahead and read the book or read it chapter by chapter before each video to see. But this first scene is King Thomas going through the hospital to find out, his wife is dying, and here he has 7-year-old Janelli, and the Illyrian guards in the back who are making way for him to get to the queen. I like this one. Overall, I think the crown is a little too not my style. I probably would change up their outfit, but I think it's fine. I made sure to put in here that he was young, because at first the AI was giving me an older king. I noticed that most times it does that, so I had to put a young king. And maybe Janelli would be wearing a crown here, and her hair might be a bit different, maybe in an afro way. But other than that, I think this is an okay photo. It took me a while to get to this one, that's for sure. Then we have this one, which, I have so many questions. I don't know. It's not awful, but it's not, a preference. I don't think it's... I could see that happening, I suppose. Oh, this one's cute. Maybe not what the king will look like, but this one's cute. I like how the daughter is... She's wearing scrubs, though. It doesn't look like she's wearing, a princess outfit. Whatever. I like how the background does look like a hospital as opposed to the first picture. But ultimately, I wish it was, with this girl, perhaps. No, actually the first one's fine. I think this photo is fine. Just a combination of the two, maybe, would be better. And then last picture they gave me, because they give you a few, is this one, which I think this one actually is the best. You can't... So this is what I would want. I would want this background scene with this king and potentially this daughter. I love her hair. That's very cute. Maybe with their outfit, or maybe with theirs. I don't know. But with their face expressions and with the guards in the background, kind of like that. Because in my chapter, I put how the guards made way for the king and his daughter to the bed. So yeah, so far so good. I give this about 7.5 out of 8 overall. It took me a while to get to this, but 7.5 overall thing. So let's go to the next one. I tried a gajillion times. So what I'm trying to do here is show them, I'm only showing the moments that are important to me, or I think is really interesting to have to view if it was on a movie. And I was trying to get the mother in the hospital bed. This is in chapter 1, by the way. The mother is sick in the hospital bed, about to die, and the king, and the princess, Janelli. And the father hands Janelli the locket from her mother, takes it off the mother and hands it to Janelli, the princess. But the AI, for some reason, was having struggle with 3 characters, and kept putting Janelle in the hospital bed. So I got this picture, is close enough. Not exactly what I wanted, but there's a locket. There's 3 people. One's a guy, one's a woman, and one's a daughter. So there you go. So yeah, there's another one where it's like, what is this? I didn't ask for this. In this one, I guess you could say it's, I just didn't like how he wasn't in his kingdom attire, but I feel like this is probably the closest one, maybe. And I mean, whatever. So at least it's getting somewhere. Ultimately, I would rate this a 5. Simply because the fact that AI seems to struggle with it. I try to make it as simple and rewrite as much as possible to make it understand, but it just didn't get it. So, yeah. The whole hospital bed, King Thomas and Janelle going to visit the mom. And this is what AI delivered. And, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the only thing is that the crown is ridiculous, I feel like. I don't think the queen will be sitting upright, too. I mean, she's about to die. This girl looks a little too healthy, in my opinion. I don't like the crown on the girl. And I wish she had a little bit more hair showing, but that's fine. But ultimately, I think it's overall... And what is that? That doesn't look like a locket. But overall, the depiction is better than what I feel like the other ones were, from my recollection. So, yeah. This one is in chapter 2. In chapter 2, King Thomas gives Janelle a red journal under the apple tree, and there are golden leaves falling. So I see a falling golden leaf right there. I mean, unless it was just displaced. And then, a king that I love his attire. I'm not really particular on these crowns though. It's interesting how they kept it on her head like that. But there's a red journal he's giving to her. Another one is this one. Red journal. It's an electronic journal. And of course, AI is not going to know that because you can only go so far. But I'm actually a little nervous if I put electronic journal in there. What's it going to end up seeing? That's way too young of a king. I put young king, but... So let me type in... Oh, I did put electronic journal. That still didn't do anything. I think I almost gave me like an iPad or something right here. So, yeah. Ultimately, that's cool. Maybe I feel like the attire is a little too much. I feel like that's a party princess thing, not an actual princess look. But I think, whatever, she's pretty. I like the golden tree in the background, and I think this one's better. So yeah, that's the scene, is when King Thomas hands Janelle a electronic journal that she'll use throughout the story. So, in chapter 3, learns she becomes getting ready to become a queen in several years from her age, and when she learns with Mr. Hayes, her teacher, Matthew. So here, this is the transparent wall that shows jellyfish. For some reason, I forgot. Just because you can learn about creatures and you can touch it, and they're not real jellyfish, it's just transparent. It shows as it feels real. And then here's another one, too. So I really like these. I'm gonna try to show the prepare ball next, but I'm a little afraid of what AI is gonna try to do to show me as a prepare ball. Expecting this, you guys. Look at this. All right, so the prepare ball in chapter 3 is one of my inventions I introduced. The prepare ball is a way for kids can learn through the 5 ways of learning. One is through kinesiology, sound, hearing. And so Janelli learns through kinesiology the best. Everyone learns all of them, but whoever learns them the best. What is your best way of learning? And so in the scene where she's learning with Matthew, her language teacher, 4 lights up. The prepare ball lights up the 4 like a disco. I mean, obviously it's not like a disco, but I'll take it. And then Janelli, I think she jumps on the answer because the ball asks what is the capital of Illyria, and it shows different answers on the floor, and Janelli jumps on them. So I think this is cool, and I can totally see this being an actual thing. I love the background too; it's beautiful. So this one, I like this one a lot because the prepare ball does light up like that. And look, it kind of looks like a disco too. The little girl is a little bit too young looking for the time that Janelli used it, but that's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's not a big deal. I really enjoy it. I love it. And look at that. That's cute. So ultimately, I give this like a high 8. I think the AI did a great job, and I was not expecting that. Holy wow, people. So I didn't think the AI would be able to do much with this, but wow. So what I did to try to make this better for myself is I took my wording of how Illyria was made and the structure, the actual structure of Illyria and what it's made from. Because remember, Illyria is made in the middle of the ocean, man-made. After World War III, the land was destroyed. So it took them 3 years from 2030 to 2033 to create Illyria. And I wrote in my book, how it was done. I didn't think when I was putting it into AI, it wasn't getting it. So I put into ChatGPT, rewrite this so that AI can make a picture of it. And so it did, and it wrote, they utilize layered structures made of geotubes. See that? There it is. And hydraulically filled sand pipes. Huh. Wow. To build artificial land. This man-made country is a blend of stone. I don't really see the stone here, but... and gold fragments. You see the gold here? Excellent. Over time, Illyria's soil will naturally rejuvenate with the assistance of sunlight. I guess that's kind of what I wrote. But yeah, I mean, look how great it looks. Obviously, Illyria, you're not going to be walking around and see this. This is the underlaying of Illyria. So on top, it will be a layer that people walk on, like typical streets and everything. But underneath, this was how it's built on the water, so it's a sturdy structure, at least sturdy enough, I think. I'm not a scientist, leave me alone. But yeah, so this is really nice. Well done. I say 9.5. Excellent. This picture is still chapter 3 where Matthew, the language teacher, kisses Janelli on her 16th birthday. and her father walks in. So I'm gonna try to do a scene for that, but we'll see. If AI doesn't do it well, I'm not gonna even try. But yeah, this is where they were writing, and she wrote a poem saying her feelings for him, and then he gets all nervous and starts to accept her advances, and then they kiss. Because the AI just did not want to do the actions. Like, it can't comprehend two actions being done at once. So, in this scene in chapter 4, where Janelle's going to get crowned, King Thomas, he puts a golden leaf that he got from the beginning of chapter 2. That Janelle, you have to read the book because I didn't show it an AI version of that because that was hard too. But and he gives that leaf back several years later. It's probably been like 21 minus 7, 14 years later, for Janelle to have at her coronation. And this is the best photo I can find of that. You want to see the other photos? Oh, here you go. Right, I think I see a golden leaf there, but they just look miserable. And I guess this is okay. But the intention with Janelle was be sitting down at her desk, and the king will be standing. And this is just, who knows what's going on. So let's try it again. I'm going to generate, see if it does anything again. No. Yeah, so that one I showed you earlier, that was okay. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's for chapter number 5, where the engineer takes Janelle's biometric code and inserts her DNA into the biometric device. And only her, the king, or the royal crown cleaner can touch the crown. Anyone else that touches her crown will get shocked by electricity. They will feel pain, but they won't die. And anyone that puts the crown on their head will have acid spread to their scalp for protection of thieves and stealing. So yeah, and I like how this shows the biometric scanner.